You're trying to steal our marina!
I bought it fair, now respect goes both ways.
This changes everything!
You ever have one of those days where you just want to kick back, maybe toss a line in the water, and forget about the world for a bit only for everything to go sideways in the blink of an eye? Well, that's exactly what hit me. Marcus Harlan, a regular guy in his mid-40s running a modest ranch down in southern Oklahoma, where the fields stretch out like an old quilt under the big sky, and my little lake out back was my slice of heaven. I'd worked that land for years, pouring sweat into every fence post and irrigation line, paying taxes on time, treating it like family because to me, it was but one sunny morning, as I eased my old fishing skiff into the water, ready for nothing more than some bass and quiet. Blue lights started flashing from the far shore, and suddenly, I was the bad guy in my own backyard. It started innocent enough I'd woken up early, coffee still steaming in my mug, the kind of day where the air hangs warm and lazy, birds chattering like they own the place, and I figured, why not? Grabbed my rod, some bait, and pushed off from the muddy edge, the boat rocking gentle as I drifted out, watching the ranch fade behind me, the water mirroring those fluffy clouds overhead. I'd done this 100 times, pulling in catfish or perch, sometimes just sitting there letting the world spin without my butt this time. Sirens cut through the peace like a knife, growing louder, sharper, until I spotted the sheriff's cruisers pulling up near the fancy subdivision marina across the way, and my gut twisted because I knew, somehow, this was about me. There they were, a couple of deputies stepping out, scanning the lake like I was some intruder, and behind them, a huddle of neighbors phones out, whispering, pointing in right in the thick of it. Karen Whitaker, the queen bee of the homeowners association, clipboard in hand like it was her scepter, her face pinched tight, as if she'd just bitten into a lemon. She was in her 50s, always dressed like she was heading to a board meeting, ruling that subdivision with an iron fist of rules and fines, the kind of person who measured your grass height and sent letters if it was off by an inch. "Sir, we need you to come ashore," one deputy hollered, his voice echoing over the water, and I just sat there for a second, oar in hand, thinking this had to be a mistake because this was my lake, my property line running clear through it, deed and all. I rowed back slow, gravel crunching under my boots as I hit the bank, feeling all those eyes burning into me like spotlights, whispers floating like smoke. Who is that guy? Doesn't look like he belongs here. Better get this on video. Handed over my ID to the deputy, voice steady but my insides churning. This is my land, my water, got the papers to prove it. Karen stepped up, voice sharp as attack. That lake's subdivision property, you can't just barge in like you own it. And I locked eyes with her, heat rising. I do own it, ma'am, every drop within my boundaries. The deputy glanced between us, checked my ID, and finally nodded. If the deed checks out, you're good, sir, but ma'am, without proof, no violation here. Karen's lips thinned to a line, scribbling furious on that clipboard, muttering, "We'll see about that." And as I pushed back out, the crowd still filming, the humiliation hit like a wave. I wasn't just some rancher anymore. I was the outsider they'd painted me as, and it stung deeper than any hook I'd ever set. That night, sleep didn't come easy every time I closed my eyes. Those flashing lights bounced off the water in my mind, the murmurs echoing, that feeling of being stripped bare in front of strangers on ground I'd bled for. Land in Oklahoma isn't just dirt, it's legacy, dignity, the thing you build your life on, and they tried to snatch that away with a phone call. My wife, Elena, sat with me at the kitchen table next morning, eggs cooling on the plate, her hand on mine. "Marcus, you did nothing wrong, that water's ours. They made fools of themselves." But I stirred my coffee slow, voice low. When folks call the law on you for just being there, it sticks, Elena, like a brand saying you don't belong. She squeezed tighter. "Then stand taller, show him who you are." And I wanted to, but the knot in my stomach wouldn't loosen, especially when our daughter Mia called from college up in Tulsa, her voice worried. "Dad, I saw the video online, are you okay? Why'd they do that?" I swallowed hard. Some people fear what they can't control, honey, but I'll handle it. Word spread like wildfire in a dry field grocery store chats, feed shop whispers, folks stopping me with awkward grins. "Heard about the lake thing, Marcus Duff break." One guy at the hardware store. An old-timer named Harold Jenkins from the subdivision leaned on my truck bed. "Karen's got a mouth on her. Don't take it personal, she runs that place like her personal empire." I crossed my arms. "Personal? She called the cops on me in my own water, how else do I take it?" He nodded slow. "Fair enough, but not everyone's on her side. Some of us think she's overstepped." It planted a seed, that maybe the crowd wasn't all against me, but the videos online twisted it, clips of me rowing in with deputies waiting, captions like, "Rancher clashes with HOA over restricted waters," comments piling up. "Rules are rules, why fight it? Looks shoddy if he owned it, why the fuss?" It burned, seeing strangers rewrite my story, framing me as the troublemaker when all I'd wanted was peace. Had to drag my deed to the sheriff's office to close the report, laying it out flat, boundaries clear as day, and the deputy shrugged. "Checks out, Mr. Harlan, sorry for the mix-up." I didn't smile. Mix-up? That's when males late. This was harassment, me defending myself like a criminal. He cleared his throat, no real answer, and driving home, something shifted, not boiling rage, but a cold resolve, the kind that makes you plan long-term. Elena met me in the driveway. "Well?" I looked past her to the lake, shimmering innocent. "It's not over, not by a mile." Avoided the water for days, but the sting followed, church folks whispering, Mia texting worried. Even Elena catching me staring out the window, lost in thought. One evening on the porch, she sat close. They're trying to erase you from what you've built, so what now? I leaned forward, eyes on the moonlit ripples, something they won't see coming. It hit me gradual, that plan overheard at the feed store, two locals griping about the Marina docks falling apart. HOA talks big, but they don't own it, lease from some old fella in Ardmore, barely keeping up. Froze right there, pretending to count change. Mind racing the Marina wasn't theirs outright? That gateway to the lake they treated like gold, just rented slips? Drove home buzzing, told Elena over supper. They don't own it, belongs to Elias Hawthorne, and word is, he's tired of the hassle. She raised a brow, sweet tea halfway to her lips. And you're thinking, what exactly? I smiled faint. If I buy it, they answer to me. That night, notepad out, I sketched it finances, value, leverage not revenge, hot and hasty, but control earned, dignity reclaimed. Next day, county clerk's office in Ardmore, dusty files and clicking keyboards, clerk pulling records, Hawthorne's name, taxes spotty last year, interested in buying? I played cool, just curious, but walking out, the fire lit. If Elias was weary, maybe he'd sell, and suddenly I'd hold the keys to their playground. Called my buddy Victor Reyes, real estate guy I'd known since high school, met at a greasy diner off the highway, pie stale, but coffee hot. Marcus, why chase this headache? Doc's rotting, insurance killer. I leaned in. Because respect ain't free. 2 weeks back, they humiliated me on my water. Owning that Marina flips the script. He chuckled dry. All right, I'll poke around. Elias has been itching to unload. Week later, Victor called. He's open meat Friday at his place near the state park. Drove north, road flat and endless, truck rumbling past fields, pulling up to Elias's weathered brick house, boat trailer rusting out front. He was in his 70s, tall and wiry, beard gray as storm clouds, waving us to porch chairs that creaked like old bones. So you're the one sniffing around my millstone? He gravel-voiced, lighting a smoke. I nodded. Heard you're ready to let Goddux need love, but location's prime. He exhaled slow. Prime? It's a money pit. HOA pays slips, but barely covers. Developers want condos, but I ain't selling to flippers. Leaned forward. I'm no flipper rancher like you once were, I bet. That Marina ties to my land. Buy it. I keep leasing fair, but on my terms. He squinted. What's the real angle? You don't strike as Marina manager. Met his gaze steady. Dignity. Karen Whitaker called law on me fishing my lake. Treated me like trash. It's leverage, reminding folks respect's mutual. Elias whistled low, stubbed his cigarette. Honesty over slick talk, let's crunch numbers. Victor flipped comps. Elias named high but fair. I countered reasonable. No hard haggle, shook on it. 30 days for financing. It's yours. Driving back, Victor side-eyed me. You sure? Repairs, pushback. I gripped the wheel. I've built my life on that ranch. They tried stripping my worth. I'm taking it back. Elena listened that night, kitchen light soft. This ain't just fishing anymore, is it? Shook my head. Noit's drawing the line. Deal closed swift, quiet, no fanfare, just papers signed, bank wired, Marina mine. Word leaked, inevitable feed store run in with Harold. Heard you snagged the Marina. Karen's fuming like a hornet's nest. I shrugged, loading sacks, but inside, satisfaction brewed. Drove by that evening. Families unloading gear, kids laughing, heads turned as I stepped out. One guy slinging a pole. Harlan? True, you own this now. Voice even. Yup, nothing changes but the name on the checks. Fair leases, that's it. Murmurs rippled, uneasy glances, but I didn't gloat, just watched the water slap the docks, feeling the shift. Then came Karen's letter, HOA stamp bold, accusing interference, demanding a meet. Folded it calm, showed up at the clubhouse room packed, fluorescent buzz, Karen at the head like a judge. Mr. Harlan, explain this intrusion into community affairs, she snapped, voice slicing air. Stood tall. Marina wasn't yours, bought legal. Slips open, terms fair. Room stirred, Karen banged the table. Irregular. We've managed decades, you can't disrupt. Voice steady. Didn't disrupt, bought what was selling. Respect both ways now. An old guy piped, not kicking us out. No, but no more treating folks like outsiders. Left with whispers trailing. Harold catching me outside. You nailed it, rattled. But Karen rallied, hard mails blasting me as a hostile outsider, hinting fees hikes, stability threats. Elena read one forwarded by Harold. She paints you as the villain. Closed the laptop. Paperwork trumps words. Saturday, drove to check docks, crowd waiting, signs waving. Save our Marina. No takeover. Karen center stage, clipboard high. The landlord arrives, explain why you're dictating our access. Stepped forward. Bought legal fees fair, no shutouts. A man shouted, what if you jack prices? One Tunley changed is accountability. Where was yours, calling cops on me? Crowd shifted, Karen reddened. Bypass HOA? Absurd. Don't need permission, deeds mine. Someone clapped slow, more joined. Karen stormed off, fuming. Attended next meeting uninvited. Karen's glare could melt steel. Presence noted. She ranted, threat to access. I stood. Let me speak, treated like trespasser on my lake. Humiliated. Bought Marina to protect mine, not revenge. Slips fair, no games, respect mutual. A woman asked, afford increases? Work with folks, principle over profit. Room quiet, some nodded. Karen countered, talk cheap, what if you sell? Trust my word, time proves it. Folks shook hands leaving. Appreciate that. Shifting tides. Summer leases went out simple fair terms. No tricks. Hesitation at first, but they signed. Hired crew for repairs. Dock strengthening. Lights new. Harold strolled by. Better than HOA ever did. Karen's grip slipping. Evenings. Watched families enjoy. One protester woman approached sheepish. We were ranji been fair. Nodded. Never aimed to push out. Karen's county complaint fizzled deed solid. By fall, Marina transformed. Community eased. Nods in passing. Chats about weather. Ranch life. Karen clung to power, but challenged. Now her empire cracked. Sat with Elena on the porch one night. Lake silver under stars. Turned humiliation to strength, not with noise, but persistence. She smiled. Proved dignity's yours to hold. And looking back, that quiet victory sirens to ownership showed real powers and steady truth, outlasting bluster. But here's the thing that still nags. Was it justice, or just leverage? Karen thought she protected her turf, maybe from old fears or control needs, but did I go too far, buying power to teach a lesson? Or was it right, standing firm against bullies? What do you think ever faced something like this, where community clashed over land or rights? Drop a comment below, share your take on fairness, power plays, or HOA horrors. I'd love to hear. And if this hit home, hit subscribe for more real-life turns like mine, because life's full of these twists, and talking them out, that's how we figure it all.